In this video, we will be reviewing Forms Designer for invoices. We will go over how to save a customized form, use a custom form for another database, and how to use a custom form to print. We're going to start this video off in a customized form that we have created previously. To review, in order to access Forms Designer, go to Setup, Forms Designer, Invoice Forms Designer. If I want to save this form as a custom form, I'm going to go to File, Save. I'm going to name my form, so you can name it whatever you like. I'm going to name it CenterPoint Form and save. To make sure that my file is there, you can see at the top right here it says CenterPoint Form, and if I go to File and Open, CenterPoint Form is right here as well. This is my new custom form. Now, if I want this custom form to be available for multiple databases, this is what we would need to do. Inside of my current database, which I am in CenterPoint Sample, I'm going to go to File, Save As. I'm going to choose a location on my desktop that I want to save this file to. I currently have a folder on my desktop called CenterPoint, so I am going to open up that folder. I'm going to leave the file name the same, CenterPoint Form. You can change the name if you'd like to, but I'm going to leave it the same, and I'm going to press Save. I'm going to go into my other existing database that I have inside CenterPoint. So I'm going to go to File and Open. I want to put that custom form inside my farm sample database. So I'm going to open my farm sample database. Then I need to access the Forms Designer again. So I'm going to go to Setup, Forms Designer, Invoice Forms Designer. Once I'm on this screen, if I want to bring that form that I just saved onto the desktop in, I'm going to go to File, Open File. Mine automatically opened to the location that I saved my form to, so it will allow me to add this form to this database. I'm going to highlight CenterPoint Form and say Open. Now I am in my farm sample database as indicated at the top, and I do have the CenterPoint form inside of this database as well. To verify that it is in there, we go to File. To make sure that this form is saved to this database, we're going to do the same process as we did before, which is File and Save. And then I should be able to go to File and Open, and I will see CenterPoint Form. Now, if we want to print and use the custom form that we just created, there are two ways that we can make sure that we're using the custom form that we created. So I'm going to close out of our Forms Designer. If we go into Processes, Sales, Customer Invoices Basic, if my invoice is all filled out and ready to be printed, down at the bottom here where the printer button is, if you click the printer button, we can say Print Invoice. Then here is my CenterPoint form that I want to use to print off on this invoice. So here I would check mark that I want to use my CenterPoint form, and I would uncheck my plain paper. I would then choose the correct printer option that I want to print it to. If it's a PDF, it's a printer, or a specific drawer on a printer that you have set up, you would select that here, and then you would say OK. Once you're ready and your invoice is all filled out, you already have set your printer option to choose the custom CenterPoint form to print, and we would then press Save. The other option is if you want this to be default, and every time you go ahead and print a customer invoice, if we go into File and Preferences, if we then select Printing, and then we scroll down to Customer Invoices, I'm going to use my database tab here, and I would select that everybody in this database, when they do a customer invoice, will then print on a CenterPoint form. So then I would select my CenterPoint form. You can choose if there's a specific printer that all of the customer invoices go to, you can select that here. Or if each person has a printer at their desk, it will default to whatever printer is installed on their PCs. So these are the two ways that you can make sure that your custom form is used either on the customer invoice screen, you can select it, or you can set a preference that it always chooses that form. In this video, we reviewed on the Forms Designer for invoices, how to save a customized form, how to use that customized form in another database, and how to print a customized form.